Hello, everybody. Today we have a TTM from Dallas, Texas. We're going to do a Fairfield. Before we do those, I found the coolest thing ever. So I don't know if you ever noticed, back here is Ken Burns Baseball on VHS, which I got at a garage sale for $3. Previously, I had seen Ken Burns Baseball many, many times, because shortly after it was released, excuse me, I got a dub of it because I was going to college at a PBS station, TV station in Tacoma, Washington. And I dubbed off of reel-to-reel 1-inch tape the entire series onto VHS. And I had that for a couple years. Then it got kind of destroyed. And then a roommate owed me some money, and it was available at Costco for like $100. And in exchange for the rent they were behind on, I agreed for they could buy me the Ken Burns Baseball. So then that got destroyed by a candle that melted all over it, courtesy of my lovely wife. We were newlyweds at the time and we're still married, so if you can survive that. So then I went many, many years without really having access to it, other than when PBS re-aired it, when they made inning 10 or extra innings or whatever it's called. And I think it might be available on some streaming services now, I'm not sure. But anyway, about a year ago at a garage sale, I got this for, I think it was $3. And whenever I just have an hour or two and I want some background noise, I'll pop in a tape and through the course of time work my way through the series again. And I've probably watched the whole series 4 or 5 times. So why am I telling you all this? My VCR that I keep here in my office stopped working just all of a sudden. I think the power supply broke or whatever, burned up, and it just was dead. So I went to my parents' house to get my backup VCR, and I found something. Inside of it was this VHS tape that I recorded in 1997. First Mariners interleague game, Seattle versus Colorado, 6/12/97. So I pop it in. Let's see if we can do this here. Pop it in. And you'll see why this is relevant in a second. A couple days ago, here we go. We were talking about Ron Fairley. And there he is on the right. So you just heard him introduce him, and he said, "I'm Dave Niehaus. That's this guy who is an absolute legend. And there's Ron Fairley." And usually when Dave introduced him, he would say, "I'm Dave Niehaus with the redhead Ron Fairley." And when I wrote, you saw me share my Ron Fairley TTMs the other day. When I wrote Ron Fairley, I asked him about that specifically, if that was Dave's nickname for him or if it was from something else, because I Googled it and I couldn't find anything on the redhead Ron Fairley. So, and he never, other than signing my cards, he didn't respond to my letter. So there's a question that's just going to have to go unanswered, but I thought that was interesting. And I've only watched this to about, I think like the 5th or 6th inning. And I haven't looked at the box score, but things are not going well for the Mariners. They're down like 10-6. And if I know this team from this era, the final was probably like 10-15 or 18-12 or some ridiculous thing. 'Cause it's the Rockies, it's the Bichette and the Blake Street Bombers Rockies versus like Griffey and A-Rod and Buhner and Edgar and Johnson. All those guys were still on this team in 97. So, anyway, that's just, Derek Lowe. Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek for Heathcliff Slocum. That's the kind of trade my organization makes. So I'm going to pause this because there's one other thing I want to show you, and then we'll get to our TTM and our Fairfield. So give me a second here. So anyway, we get here to the bottom of the fifth. Wilson at the plate. Pitching to him. Some guy named Jerry DiPoto. There's Castillo with the assist from third. Like I said, this team had Galarraga and Castillo and Walker and just the Blake Street Bombers, just all of them. So there you see Jerry DiPoto. And if you're a baseball nut or whatever, you keep up on this stuff, he's the current GM of the Mariners. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. But a little bit of history there. Not much, a little. First interleague game. And I'll probably finish watching that before I upload the video. And I'll drop the link in the description if you want to see where I ended up. Currently at the bottom of the fifth. Colorado 10, Seattle 6. Like I said, in the mid-90s and into the early 2000s, there wasn't hardly ever a Mariners score that was in single digits in either direction, both visitor and Mariners. So anyway, here we go with our TTM. I've only wasted 7 minutes of your time already, so might as well actually do something here. By the time I do my Fairfield, this is probably going to be a 15-minute video, so that's a good day for you. Lamar Johnson, 83 tops. 81 tops. And I sent him 276 tops. One was already signed by Jerry Manuel, as you see here, and that was done through a 50-50 with somebody like about a year or two ago. Craig Reynolds signs for, I think, $5, but maybe $10. And Johnny Leemaster has signed. It's been since, I think, March since I've seen a return from him. So I'll probably try to finish this one off. And he didn't sign the other one. So that's fine. So I still have a raw 76. And I only have 2 holders out here. That's a problem. Let's add the 83 to our November giveaway stack. So I'll get this out to Craig Reynolds eventually, and then I will monitor Johnny Leemaster returns, and hopefully he starts the pen of flowing again, and then I'll immediately get it out for him. I have a whole stack of guys that are like kind of signers, and I just wait till I see that they start signing again, and then I get stuff out to them. So I got looking at my pack. It's blue and it looks like it has a white back. I'm not sure. I'm thinking was 91 Ultra like that? Maybe 91 Ultra. We'll see. I like to speculate. Roy Oswalt on the front. Very good pitcher. Hall of very good. Probably not quite good enough to make the Hall of Fame, but very effective pitcher, and could have used a few more All-Star years or whatever to help complete the resume for the Hoff, but still a pretty exclusive club. People don't like to believe that, but it is. Okay, here we go. What's our pack here? Oh, 93 Fleer. Okay. Collect Tom Glavine. Career highlights. Was 93 the green? Well, we'll see when we open it, but I can't think of offhand of what 93 Fleer was. We shall see. There's our Roy Oswalt. John Candelaria, the Candyman. Greg Nettles, very good third baseman for the Yankees in the 70s. Very good, highly underappreciated. Don Robinson. Mike Blowers, dated game debut. Went on to play many years for the Mariners and now does Ron Fairley's old job. Hideki Arabu, the Fat Toad. That's not my nickname. That's what his boss called him. Phil Hughes. Well, this is a Yankee-laden pack here. Bernie Williams. Orlando Mercado. Kevin Moss, who was once the hottest thing going. I dropped it. He hit a bunch of home runs in just a handful of games toward the end of the 90s season. It's not going to show it on here. And this is a traded. And the collecting world just blew up, and everyone's getting his stuff, and he's the next great thing. And he just wasn't. It happens. People get a book on somebody, and they discover what they can't hit, and that's what they throw them, and then they become a one-trick pony. Steve Bye-Bye Balboni, John Haben, Ken Phelps, who not only is famous for being traded for Jay Buhner, but here's a little factoid. His last home run he hit in his career was with the A's and was hit off of a pitcher named Brian Holman to break up a perfect game with 2 outs in the 9th inning. That is a heartbreaker. Rafael Santana, Dave Megadin. Is this like an insert? Premium pairs. Well, it's an insert. Well, might be a subset because it's got a regular number. Jorge Toca and Jeffrey Tomlinson. I know a Jeffrey Tomlinson collector that's going to want that. John Franco, Charles Hudson, Gary Renicky, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. How many Yankees am I going to get? No more. Here comes our Red Sox run. Bill Buckner, Jamie Quirk, some 84s here. Johnny Ray, Joel Skinner, another Yankee. Billy Hatcher. Collector Holic should open this one. Or Amio. Randy Kramer. Dave Island, Yankee. Rob Murphy. Juan Esposito, Yankee. Here we go, some backwards one. John Maine. Steve Peters. Cal Daniels, who once won a $10,000 contract dispute with owner Marge Schott on a coin flip on This Week in Baseball. The commissioner, Fay Vincent, was pretty upset about it, but oh well. Pedro Estacio, Darren Jackson. We've got a lot of backwards stuff here. Sean Reed Foley, here with the more modern stuff. Tigers franchise history, 2010 tops. Not familiar with this statue. It looks like it's a shot of 3 statues that are kind of lined up. But, wow. Just the angle of the picture is kind of weird. I'd almost rather just see a good shot of one statue. Wade Miley, Buddy Borden, Unieski Betancourt, Jeff Baker, Hideki Matsui, Godzilla, Nelson Cruz, the Boomstick, Ian Stewart, Ruben Tejada, Jack McKeon, Nelson Santavina, Todd Hunley, that one's a little beat up. Cookie Rojas, who I sent to a couple months ago because he had some successes, and then all of a sudden, RTSs, so it happens. Ted Simmons, he's on the newest Veterans Committee ballot, which I believe the results of which are released on December 8th, somewhere in there. And honestly, he's a very strong candidate. You could be looking at a Hall of Fame card here in less than a month. And if you look at his stats and you see the amount of years he was an all-star, and you see the production, then you realize that he was a catcher and how few catchers are actually recognized in the Hall. Ted Simmons is in my Hall of Fame. I'm a little more lenient than some others, but I really hope he gets in. Of everyone on the ballot, he's my top choice if I can only pick one. Glenn Hubbard, Donnie Moore, Andres Thomas, Tommy Gregg, who the rumor is he does not like signing Braves cards. Ricky Henderson. Got some Hall of Famers coming up. Jor Orsolek. That's a traded. I always like the backs of the traded. Just a more brilliant color. Jeff Blauser. Dave Henderson, or Hindu, rest in peace. Luis Aguayo. Burt B. Home, Bly 11 on an 85 tops. Looks really nice. Not the greatest condition, but I love me some 85 tops. There's a crease here. And I'm looking forward to that being the insert set in 2020 tops. And I'll probably chase some of those. The 2020 tops actual design, I'm really not a fan of. So I'm probably going to be chasing a lot of the 85s on eBay or through trades or sport lots or whatever. But anyway, Hoffer card there. Checklist. We don't want your checklist. Larry McWilliams. Here we go with the Yankees again. Sam Militello. Phil Plantier. Steve Trout. No, he's not his dad. Luis Aguayo. That's two of them. Here we go with the Yankees. Pat Kelly. Yankees. Luis Polonia. Although he's pictured in an Angels uniform. I don't have a lot of Stadium Club from this year, and I'm a Stadium Club guy, so it's cool to get these. Gerald Williams. Matt Noakes. Mike Lieberthal. I almost called him John. Mike Aldretti. How long is my video now? 16 minutes. God help you. Sorry, everybody. I generally don't watch videos that are Billy Bean. This Billy Bean is MLB's LGBTQ ambassador. John Papelbon. Greg Gagne, not Gagne like the other guy. Very easy to do, especially if you weren't watching baseball then. Shin Soo Choo. Adam Warren. These are the ASG stamped cards. Addison Reed. I think they look kind of nice. They tend to be in Willie Calhoun. Pretty much every Fairfield box, at least that I've been getting lately, the pharmacy boxes. Sean Figgins, who parlayed his success with the Angels into a nice contract with the Mariners, and then immediately became very horrible. Very, very horrible. Funny how that happens. Mark Teixeira. Adam Dunn. Don Baylor. Dale Murray. Let's see what we got here. If you've watched all this video, you're my personal hero. Alan Wills. This one's got, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some weird, it's not a wax stain. It's just got, I don't think it's coming through. It's got a weird kind of finish right there. You can kind of see it in the top right. I don't know. Kind of weird. Bob Zupsick. David Murphy. Dave Island. He was a pitching coach for a while, I think. Steve Crawford. Tony Armas, he was a good ball player. So was Willie McGee. Rob Scurry, he's dead. He died of a speedball he took in prison. Chris Bosio. Dave Righetti. Two of those, 84 tops. Is not to disparage his name, but that's how he died. Another Candyman, John Candelaria. Andre Thornton. Willie Randolph. Marty Bystrom. Ron Guidry, that's a nice card. Holy smokes, half of that, or at least a third of those were Yankees. So I'm going to have to make a little pile of Yankees for next time a Yankees fan wins a giveaway. They'll probably get most of those. Here we go, 83 Fleer. Are those the green ones or the yellow ones? Or was this after they stopped making horrible things? I get some of my junk wax mixed up. This is kind of, I guess it would still be junk wax, but kind of later years for that. Let's see here. We got a Lee Smith on the back. Okay, pretty basic design. It's all coming back to me now. They're not offensive like some of the prior Fleer releases, but they're not really all that inspiring either. Chili Davis. Glenn Davis. Are we getting a little bit of sticking here? It's going to take me a year to upload this video. Ray Lankford. Juan Bell. Otis Nixon, who perpetually looks 80 years old. Sorry, Otis. Manuel Lee. Tino Martinez, who I really liked on the Mariners and didn't like after that. Hall of Famer Mike Messina, Rich Rodriguez, Brian Williams, Willie Green, Jose Guzman, Scott Leas, you saw me get him TTM a couple weeks ago, Alex Fernandez, and finish things off with Elise Smith, Hall of Famer. So, interesting Fairfield box with a ton of Yankees. Holy smokes. We Lamar Johnson TTM, and that was 3 for 3. We added the 83 to the giveaway stack for this month. And we got a little peek at the 97 Mariners and Rockies, and I'm going to finish watching that while this uploads because it's going to take at least an hour to upload. And I'll put like I said, the box score in the description just in case you're curious type like me. That's it for now. Hopefully we get something on Friday, and I'll see you then. Bye.